Well, guess who just tried to swallow some water and then accidentally breathed it in? Yep, yours truly. Let me just get everything ready. How is everybody today? There's actually quite a few of you here already. Oh, you hear that? That's cars. Well, now I had to click over there. So now you don't hear the Now you hear the cars. Though they should have been turned off. I forgot to turn all of them off, apparently. But welcome, everybody. Space Warrior. Chen, welcome. Broken Ursa, welcome. Fonny Foxbear. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that last one, but welcome. Welcome, Ford Scorpio. I don't think I've heard you around here before. Welcome, Revhang Bra. How's it going? Moto 45, welcome. Yes, so here we go. These are the cars we have this week. Oh wow, that is quite the zoom I must have had on that camera lens just then. Is this as high as this desk goes? Yes, it is. For some reason, it feels shorter than normal. Maybe if I just do a bit of the splits. I really need to clean up in here. It is very messy. Anyway, let's go and see what we have here today. Starting way over here with arguably one of the most ugly cars. Hold on, let me turn some of these engines off. There we go. Okay. Now they're not so loud. Nissan R33, welcome, brah. You see a small tank? Yes, right over there. We will get to it. It is odd, yes. What is this? This is like how not to design. I don't know. So they seemed quite confident in their vehicle. I personally hope that it drives better than it looks. But yes. Then we have this cool AC Cobra looking thing. Now this one, I'm a bit torn on the design of this one. As you can see here, it's got a very vertical front windshield. The rest of it's mostly fine though. Smaller than my brain? Oh dear. I mean, as a tank it's quite small, but as a brain it's quite big, so you're saying that your brain is bigger than that tank? Wow. Big brain moment. Big brain energy. Me do word speak, yes. Blah, 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 blah. A tonk? I don't know if it's called tonk, I believe it's just called tank. That's not the ugliest car I've ever seen. I've built uglier cars I've seen. I've built the ugliest cars I've ever seen. Yeah, alright. I mean, I built some pretty ugly ones myself, too. What's on the inside that counts? Partly? But you can't get over, like, looks that only a mother could love. I mean, come on. Must be a French tank? Sure, okay. Why? Because you think it can reverse really quickly? Anyway, bring that back here. It's the Lambro Mirror. What? Hold on. I don't believe I recognize that name from this week. You can always go through the list and see what we're up to. My scalp. Nice and itchy. I don't know why. Alright, so these are the cars we got. We got the Marani R2, the Ford RS200, the Croydon Motors Rally 505. You know what, we can probably zoom in a little bit on this as well to make your reading a little bit easier through compression. So we got the Arrow FRT20, the Solada PS84, the Risper Standard Eco Mark 1 _4. Sure, okay. The Peel P50 tank, not Tonk, unfortunately. The Dalton Daytona, which is that blue one we're looking at right now. The Pikes Peak, interesting name. And then the Onion rear-wheel drive GB Rally. Sure, I believe that one was meant to be a Group B rally car, but I'm not entirely sure. So, yeah. This is... I mean, This one would have taken front and center if it had looked a little bit better. I don't think that the AC Cobra ever had a windshield that steep. I don't think the Jaguar had a windshield that steep. It just looks a bit odd and unique. Like, your face kind of feels more like the crash crumple zone in your car. Like, just saying. Hey, Gangster Gamer, how's it going, bruh? Curse Tank from Moto 45? Sure. Back but not for long. Yeah, I see where we are up to. The AC Cobra thing looks like a shoe. You trying to say that it looks like the, whatchamacallit clown shoe? The M Coupe? No. It looks a little too... I don't know if that really looks like a shoe. I don't know. Whatever. Let's move on. So we got here the Ford RS2000, which is weird because I only know of the Ford RS200. Let's have a look at the RS2000. No, it's only coming up with an old Escort or an RS200. So I think what happened is they just wrote it out wrong. Wide body or silhouette. Okay, so this is meant to be a modified version. I'm pretty sure this is meant to be a RS200, not an RS2000. Just to note that the mirror was made by me, Shivi, since my old Discord account got disabled. Ah, okay. Did you stream playing My Summer Car? I used to back in the day on Twitch, but I haven't used the Twitch in quite a while. I'm thinking I might simul stream to Twitch sometimes, but I'm happy with how this is for now. There we go. Okay. I'm only going to be here for 8 more minutes. Oh dear. Chunky RS200? Yeah. It's, unique. That's for sure. Got these weird kind of grills on the side here and the back as well. Very chunky, very broad. I do like the choice of rear spoiler wing thing. That looks pretty cool. I do like that. I'm not sure what this is, but this I recognize as like extra ventilation holes. But that's usually because the engine bay is open into here. What engine do we have in here? We have a 4-cylinder turbo, so it's not an RS200's engine. I believe the RS200's engine was what, a V6 was it, or something like that? Yeah, I don't think it was a 4-cylinder. We do have all-wheel drive. 1 piston on the front and 2 piston on the rear. Okay. What sort of interior do we have? She's got booty. Yeah, she kind of thonk. Hold on. Let me do this. I don't have the complete package set up for this one yet, but she thick. Yeah, no, that will be fixed eventually. There will be distortion effects on the microphone with that one, but just something I've been working on. What car will be fastest on road? I'm guessing that one. That was front and center in my thumbnail. The thing is, I gotta practice, but then I can hop back. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the RS200 had a 2-liter turbo. I didn't know that. I thought it was a V6 for some reason. Oh, okay. Well, that's my bad then. Welcome, Little Pac Mac. Going to be a good stream. Saw mini tank in the... I didn't even... like, make the tank front and center. You guys just love trolling me with these shit vehicles. I'm not looking forward to the tank. Everyone else is. I'm here just going, I have to drive that. Damn it. Welcome, Alex Selchow. How's it going? Yo, yo, yo. It's only yo, yo, not yo, yo, yo. That would be like, yo, yo, yo. I think I just got where, like, this hand signal is from when you go, yo, yo, yo. I think what they're trying to, like, mime a yo-yo, maybe? Is that how they... Get gang... Is Yo-Yo Gangster? Fo shizzle my schnitzel. Yo, yo, yo. Body kit looks similar. Yeah. It's pronounced sell cow. Oh, okay. That's gonna be tricky to remember. I have an LMH that looks insane, but it's slow as hell. I never thought about it like that. Yeah, neither have I. I've never thought about it like that before either. So in here we've got 2 seats, so clearly this is meant to be the race driver and the co-driver. Though, the driver's side is on the incorrect side. Steering wheel goes on this side of the car. Anyway, let's move along before anybody has a chance to rebut that one. We have here a kind of cool-looking, small-size muscle car. Okay. No. There we go, okay. Back again. So yeah, this looks pretty cool. I like this. No Tiranas yet, though I am looking on doing something on a Tirana. Myself. RS200 do be kinda thick. That one, yeah, that is quite thick. Considerably thicker than the base car. So, I like the paint on this. I like the nice subtle design. It looks very kind of like 60s, 70s, but then got sex-spec'd in the early 2000s, maybe late 90s sort of era. I think if they had have maybe done the wheel fenders a little bit differently, you probably could have made it look more like a modern kind of sex-spec. We got no interior, but we have a quad-cam V6. Not what I was expecting, but then again, I did say that this is a small-looking muscle car, and they did make a lot of small-looking muscle cars with V6s in them, or straight sixes. So yeah, I suppose I got what would be expected. Though it looks like we've got some sort of tubular header, so maybe this thing has been modified, and probably heavily too. What do we got for... We have mechanical fuel injection. Alright, this thing is very eclectic. I don't know. Purple is best color, don't at me? Sure, okay. I mean, I like purple. Is it best color? I don't know. Should I make a Group 5000 Pigeon? I don't know what that is. A V6 pony car? Yeah, I'd say that that's probably a good description. Except nobody really uses the term pony here in Australia, so it's kind of something that's only been brought up to me through the game of automation. I've heard it said occasionally, but never really thought much about it. I just assumed that it was always just a type of muscle car. Isn't Potato Mod made by Philman? Yes, it is. Does the tank shoot? I'm guessing not, since that is a very complicated thing to set up. And I believe I exported that myself from automation. I think. I can't remember which ones I did from automation. So I did no editing to it. I love mechanical fuel injection. I just don't think that it matches this car. With a small V8. Under 5 liter. Sure. Capri, it does look a bit like a Capri, yeah. But then again, that's the body, not the design that they've gone with here. Pony car is first-gen Mustangs. Oh, okay then, because they got the 6-cylinder in it, and it's got the prancing horse on there, but it's not really, like, very fast, like a V8. It's, what, just a pony, not a full horse? Well, I'm assuming that's kind of where that derived from. Then we've got this weird thing. A little too basic, in my opinion, but I suppose it's what's, as Revhang said, it's on the inside. The front also looks particularly weird. Very, very weird. What have we got in here, though? We've got a big... Is that a V8? Yeah, that's a quad-cam V8. No turbo. Okay, so it's naturally aspirated. No front drive. I'm just going to check that this thing has no front drive quickly. Yeah, no front drive. Good. Okay. Whew. That could have been a bit cheaty and ruined my mood on it. I'm noticing though that we don't have 3 pistons on. I haven't checked all of them. This one, and this one this week. So I'm going to go ahead and say that maybe that 3 piston thing is fixed. That's a huge V8. It'll be fast. I think you underestimate how much tuning goes into a car, because just a big engine don't mean fast. What sort of wheels do we have on here? They're not particularly thick. Like, they're chunky, but they're not really, really big. So, I don't know. But that is an incredibly bulbous rear end. Huge V8 tiny car will be fun. It will be something. Okay, moving on. That's a tank. And then this... No, I'm joking. All right. The one everybody is apparently interested in. The tank. Or the PLP-50 tank. This car has got semi-slicks. What? I mean, I assume so. I would know about tuning a lot this point. Listen to Phil, man. Turbos do a lot, even if they are small turbos. Sure. I get what you're trying to say, that big engine is probably going to cause a lot of understeer. And I would agree. Let's actually see quickly the weight distribution. So this is midpoint. Yeah, the engine is right over the front axle. So you're going to have questionable understeer. That Tesla body is chunky. Which one would you say is the Tesla body? This one? I mean, that's the closest to a Tesla we've seen so far. That's awesome. Boner cars are basically just a welcome, Uncle Vens. Small muscle cars, first-gen Mustangs, Camaros, Challengers, muscle cars. Stuff like... You're just naming things that I don't know, but I know Mustang and I know Camaro, kind of, but I always forget which one that is. You're talking American cars. They are not... and have never really come to Australia. The only muscle car or American car that has ever properly come to Australia is the current generation Mustang since, I think, like 2016 or something like that. That's the only one we've ever had that's imported normally. I hope when you drive this tank and bump something, a lot of parts fly off. I'm assuming that's what will happen. Vlovo? Where Vlovo? There's no Vlovo here. What is wrong with you people? God damn it. All right. Hey, how you doing, man? Welcome, Jumbo Jacob. How's it going? The cars are good, but listen to that music. Muscle cars were originally throw engine from bigger car and smaller car. I don't know about that. Maybe British muscle, like your TVRs. That was small car, big engine. That was not a great idea, baby. No, you also have the Chrysler 300. That's imported normally. Oh, yeah. Kind of, but not really. I've never known anybody, even, like, through a few degrees of separation, that has ever actually owned one. I've seen probably like 2 in South Australia. So if they were imported normally, there's probably only like 1,000 or 2. Like a very small number. Third gen Pontiac GTOs are Holden's converted to left-hand drive? Yes. They have an entire Australian spec. I believe they use them as police cars. No. HSV had Camaros. I know what that means. Muscle cars were big cars. Yes, muscle cars were very big cars. Anyway, so yeah, we have a PLP-50 body here with a cannon coming out where you think you might be looking from. And then we got this cool looking track. I'm not entirely sure how they did this. Did they just get a whole bunch of fixtures? I think they just got like a bazillion little fixtures and put them on there. And then put them double thick as well. That's not how I would have done that. What I would have done is just stretched it out to be wider, so then there's less polygons, maybe? Better performance? Okay, so in here, we have the bowels of the vehicle. It looks like we have all-wheel drive. We have a solid axle coil in the back, and this rear spring is so extended, it's glitched out the mesh here, as you can see. Nice. I don't know. I probably shouldn't be using that yet. Not until I get all the audio stuff. And then we got a similar sort of thing in the front here with the, oh, I see a turbo poking through here. What sort of brakes do we have? Can we see brakes? Hold on. I see brakes, but they're invisible? Weird. Very weird. Okay, so engine. We have... I can't even tell where this engine is. Oh, okay. That's the top of the engine. I thought I was looking at something. It's a 3-cylinder that looks ginormous, that doesn't even fit. I believe the base body? Yeah. No, it does. Okay. So it just fits the base body. That is a chungus level 3-cylinder. Oh my god, that thing is ginormous. Alright. We're gonna call this thing Little Chungus. River's right, the Chevy 350 engine that GM put in like every car in the 70s, 80s was originally a truck engine for pickups. Well, muscle cars didn't start in the 70s. Yes, Tonk. Sure, we'll call it Tonk. So, what's this artifacting we got here? Some sort of weird thing? And then this is red, when I'm assuming maybe it wasn't meant to be? I get the feeling that this was an error with the save export import. This is why I tell you, if you really care about your car, do it as a .zip instead. So in the front here, we have nice little vents here. We have push rods. Oh, no front drive. Okay. So just rear drive. 3 pistons in the rear, 2 pistons in the front. That's interesting. And once again, we have another inline engine. Why so many inline engines? That's choices people have made. Big turbo energy. Alright. So, even though this one looks kind of questionable, if I'm going to be honest, I am expecting a little bit from this. So, unfortunately, we don't have... Wait, is that a... Oh, that's actually a real wing. That's not a fake wing. So we have a real wing in the front, fake wing on the side, then... fake error on the bottom. Something else done there. We'll have a look in a second. Then a real wing there. So, what do we have down here? Is that a real wing hidden in here? Maybe? No, I don't think so. I think that's something else. So, this one could be an underdog. Though, I see more errors here, but I'm not quite sure why that's happened. I see a thing on top. What is this? Nothing in particular? Oh, okay. Sure. Now my tank from, like, episode 2 has a little brother. Sure, okay. Big engine, small body, all-wheel drive, and asphalt, lack of brakes. Good luck, you'll need it. I'm not sure which car you're talking about now. It's because inline 6R OP and automation. I don't know if I agree with that. Green bean? Sure. String bean? Even more like it. Beans! What do we got? How do I... There we go. So this one I'm kind of a little bit curious about, because it looks fairly interesting until you get around to the front and then see those headlights, and then you're like... I'm not sure. That's a bit of a weird one. Cool little symbol there, got nice little vents, nice shiny looking bumper. I think if they had made these lights somehow look as if they're pop-ups of some sort, that would have been a lot cooler, but just them sticking out like bug eyes? I'm not too... No, I don't know about that. HSV hold-ons performance... I know what HSV is. Green egg with ham. Sure. Frog? Yeah, a little bit. Actually, I see that. It does look a little bit like a frog. Frog car, frog car. Then we have... Oh, we don't have front drive in this either. Wait, have I looked at it? No, okay. So, This one is quite accurate then, I'm assuming. We got double wishbones in the front. Then we have an inline 4, is that? Okay. Into a double wishbone rear suspension. Interesting. Let's just have a... What? We've got a cast header with a pushrod carbureted 4-cylinder. That doesn't look particularly big either. Let's get to a different angle. I feel as if this engine could have been much bigger. Maybe this is meant to be some sort of communist car, maybe? I'm not sure. I do like the side of it. I like the rear of it. The front, though, is a little bit questionable. Ah, yes, okay. So we have a Cyrillic number plate here, which leads me to think that, yes, this is Russian. But then I'm also noticing that we got this language. So I'm not sure where this is meant to be from exactly, and maybe if I go back and read the description. Then we have this one by somebody who quit me. Looks like a white frog. The formula to make an American car. Massive engine producing a paltry amount of horsepower. Yes, especially in the 70s and 80s and 90s. Massive square body suspension that causes it to lean at 45 around a corner and absolutely no handling. Sounds about right. Did I just see front drums and rear discs? So we have a single piston rear disc. Oh my god, you're right. It is front drums. Oh my god, I didn't pick up on that. Nice spot there. Russian plates looks like a Kombi car. Arabic and Russian. I mean, there is a lot of blending around those sorts of areas where Russia kept on trying to invade over the, last millennia. Cast iron pushrod i4 with a DCOE. That thing will not be fast. I'm very much assuming as much. ETK in beam, but big head. What? Anyway, moving on. So yeah, this is a vehicle by somebody who quit my channel. So I don't know why I'm reviewing their car, but whatever. It sounded interesting the way in which they presented it. So, this is meant to be some sort of Pikes Peak car. What the hell? What's that meant to be? This is 3D placed here. That's not normally there. We have real brakes. We have rear... Hold on. Double wishbone suspension. Then in the front, we have... front drive, 2-piston, double wishbone suspension. And then we have a flat... 12? Yeah, so I know a flat 12 is not real. So what do we actually got here? Okay, so we've actually got a flat 6. Okay. I like that they tried to make this look like a flat 12, though. That would be really awesome. I like how they've done everything around here to just kind of blend it all together to hide it, except for the fact that these aren't over where the intake trumpets are. Could be similar to the Melkus Ra 1000. Not sure what that is. Never heard of that. But welcome, Aaron F. How's it going? Also, I probably don't know how to pronounce your name properly. I just like to say it that way. Cause Gang Grumps. This car looks like it's evolving, but just backwards. So yeah, quite the ugly car. I'm just gonna... There we go. This is one of the uglier cars. Is it the ugliest car today? I don't know. It is a close race because the other one at the beginning is also quite ugly. That one was also exacerbated by the fact that it's got a weird split color. Then we have this beastie, which I am very excited to try out. Now, there was another Formula 1 looking sort of car in my list of cars to review, but it had a base model trim type name, which conflicts a lot of the time, so I just don't bother with those sorts of cars. So if you have that sort of thing, make sure you change it before you upload it. The Melkun was okay. So yeah, that's some really, really big front wheels. Now, which body is this? I think this might be entirely made up of 3D objects, Because I'm not seeing an actual car body here. We have a V6 twin turbo. Interesting. Ooh. Oh, this is a person in here. Nice. Except they've got thighs, second thighs, and shins. Or is that meant to be... No, that's not meant to be feet. Weird. Oh my god. It's got like a carburetor setup with mechanical fuel injection. So this is meant to be, what, like a 70s and 80s F1 car? That's going to be exciting. Also, the exhaust coming out the side like that? I don't know if this generation of Formula 1 did that. Hold on. Hold on. Now I know, because my brain just caught up to what I was saying, that they didn't have exhaust like this, because these were rear engine and this is hooking up to the front. So that means that the exhaust would run under the driver, heating them up unceremoniously, or whatever you want to call it, and then brings it out and then comes down the side. What? Welcome Turbo Crash 93, how's it going? Driver skip leg day? Sure. Skipped having normal legs. Though not that they could skip with those legs, it looks like they would just collapse. This is so cool, I want one. Carbs go brr. Except it's not carbs, it's mechanical fuel injection, but with like the carburetor type filter. Looks cool. It looks like a shot in what on the Stig's belly. It looks like a shot in what on the Stig's belly. What? Not entirely sure what you're saying. Are you talking about the circle, but then you like brain farted and didn't know how to English? So yeah, I'm not sure which body they use for this. Carbs are sock boxes? Sure. Why use heated seats when you have exhaust? Sure. Never mind delicious? No, delicious. I don't know what is. Oh, delicious. I'm so confused. World of Tank? No, World of Tonk. As we've gone over. We're going to retcon its name. Check the mesh fill on this car. Alright, give me a second. Control T. I accidentally hit Control R. Oh! That's actually not come out horribly. Oh, that's right. No, they said that they did a lot of editing to the mesh, and I believe that that was for this car. So they've done a lot of editing. Hasn't come out correctly, but they've done it in a way which will help them with handling. So, sure. If they didn't edit it that, then maybe we can... No, those export meshes are jank anyway. I just noticed that the intake scoop is behind the engine and feeds nothing. Oh, you're right! Oh, that's great. But hold on. Then yeah, this filter does nothing either. Because it has turbos. Unless they're going like mid-engine rear turbo setup. Very weird, okay. Yes, World of Tonk, sorry. Damn it, I stuffed up my own joke. Hey guys, how do you delete the chassis completely? So you open up your .zip file when BeamNG is not open, you have to have that closed, then go into the main directory, not the art directory, until you can find the .jbeam that is for your car, then scroll down just a little bit. We should be able to open it up in Notepad if you want. Find flex bodies, find the one that says chassis in one of the lines for the flex body part of the text, and then just delete that line, and you're good. Then you close it, you save it, update the zip file, and then open up BeamNG and it should be good. Tonk of World, sure. Car design, that nonsense. What? Phil, can you send me this car? I want to fix it. You could just find it on my Discord. It's just there. You've got car files for testing. We'll be going over what the names of these cars are eventually, and then you just scroll up until you find it. The description for this one is... so this is by Arrow FR... No, sorry. This is the Arrow FRT 20 by Shadow 353, and it's... I fixed moved the nodes, gave it F1 handling. PS, make sure to press E every time you drive the car. So I'm assuming it's got some sort of like downwards thruster. And I actually see a JATO thing. Okay. We'll keep that in mind. Oh, that's where I send the cars. Sure. How do I get one of my cars in the stream if I can? Read the description of the stream. Damn, I'm stupid. I agree, Vens. I'm joking. I'm not joking. LOL. That car has a bunch of stuff that isn't connected to things. I agree. Like the exhaust. This car has a bunch of stuff that isn't connected. Stupid moment. E is for race mode. Yes, I believe as much so. So, we're going to start out our stream today. We've now gone through the warm-up, and we are 45 minutes in. So, we're going to start with the first one, which will be this one. Anyway, which map do we race that on? That looks a little bit... Hold on, what's the name of the car first? So this is the Croydon Motors Rally. So the Croydon Motors Rally is by our Beamer. It's a 2020 car. Only costs $5,200. Really cheap for some reason. Perfect thing for me to be inspired by was the recent Pikes Peak video. Okay, so they're referencing an older YouTube video, which was like, the Volvo is my dirty secret car or something like that. I can't remember. Like the car that I would take up Pikes Peak. If you guys remember that one from like 3 months ago. That's what they're going with. So they're trying to say that this is the car that they would drive. So let's enable the Pikes Peak mod. And then we'll take this one up Pikes Peak. Just a little bit. I'm going to do the short track though. Because long track is a little too long. Devil's Playground. 45 minutes? I mean, sure, maybe the first 9 minutes is technically intro, so 35 minutes, but still, I like to go over the cars, get people a little bit primed, give them time to show up and stuff like that. Okay. Remember, because that vid was uploaded the same day I hit her... Oh! Ah, that's right, that's back when you were, not hacked. Pre-hack days. Did I saw Goodwood? What? Oh. Yes. But not Goodwood. I haven't finished it yet. Alright, lads. Ready for another 45 minutes of one car going through Pikes Peak? Hell no. So, what sort of engine do we have in here? Oh god, let's have a look. We have what looks to be a sideways 6-cylinder. 5-cylinder. Interesting. Then we have front drive, 3-piston front brakes. Oh, not good. Have we got that glitch again? Then 1-piston rear. Okay, so I don't think we have the glitch. But we have all-wheel drive. How do they get a car so cheap? That's weird. Alright. Traction control off. Good, we have some sort of manual gearbox. That's a lot of power. I think maybe I just wrote the power amount down incorrectly. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. This thing is very oversteer happy. I'm glad I decided not to do the full Pikes Peak track. Jesus. Okay, lag. Weird. Ah. This thing is so twitchy oversteer. God, okay. So you said it's what's inside that counts. This car has hatred and murder in its heart on the inside. Why is there so many fixtures? Why do you spend so much time making a car this ugly? Like, I don't even think that these rear taillights would be legal. I think they're probably a little bit too low to be legal. Welcome, Dan Koopmans. So let's try this again. Okay, well... Let's try that again. Brake. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, come on. Why? Try that again, shall we? Lots of wheel spin. Oh, my God. Is this meant to be an off-road rally, maybe? I think maybe this thing has, whatchamacallit? Off-road tires. Because this thing slips and slides a little too easily. Okay. Fandiddly-tastic. It looks like medium compound, not like off-road tires. No, they're sports tires. So these are actually the right sort of tires, and they're very thick, which means that this thing probably has a buttload of power. Well, let's turn the music back on. We have... Oh, wow, that's a lot of power. It starts at 200 horsepower. And then it gets around 451 horsepower. My God. That's a... Wait, sorry, that's torque. My bad. Hold on. Horsepower. We're getting 493 horsepower. My God, that's redonkulous. That's a lot of torque and a lot of power. Unfortunately, I think this car is a little bit under control, uncontrollable. Doesn't have a working rear wing? Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's all lips. No, that is actually rear wings. And a massive front wing. Okay. So they got little small front wings, but then a massive front wing. So that's going to cause us issues. They didn't take much time tuning it in BeamNG. They just tuned it on automation, which is fair enough. That's what a lot of people do. Try this again and fail instantly. Sure. I think that's why it's so twitchy. Yeah, I kind of agree. Welcome, Groundhog. How's it going? I like how honest you always are. Sure, I always feel I'm being a little bit mean, but this car is jank. I don't understand it. Oh God, oh God. I mean, we're not even in aerodynamics kind of zone because these wings don't have ginormous angles. So I think it's not just the wings, I think it's also the, whatchamacallits, the other things. And very soft suspension. I feel like this car is meant to be for rally, but I wouldn't be able to tell you. Oh God, understeer there. Okay, so when I wanted to steer a little bit more normally, the thing then just starts to understeer. And, oh God! Oh God! Stop! Stop! There goes my trim pieces. Alright, let's try to get past the first hairpin. Oh my God. I swear I'm a better driver than this. It's just this car is not how I would tune a car. Let's go ahead and just say that. Oh, understeer. Then oversteer. Great. Okay, no. At 150, this thing becomes uncontrollable. And I don't want to spend the next 20 minutes going up a 2-minute section of track driving like a grandma. Well, keyboard stopped working. There we go, keyboard's back. Which car do we have next? Next is the Daytona. So let's go, now that we have the new Akron track kind of working. This is a little bit of a preview for the upcoming video at the end of the week. What do you mean by tuning in BeamNG? So you tune in automation, but what automation says how a car handles is not how it handles in BeamNG. There is actually quite a lot of difference, and I go over it in a video called, I believe, Filmman 86 Suspensions All Over Your Face. Don't ask. Sorry, can you tell how I can make working downforce in the front? Which parts are really working BMG? Go check out my other... I've done videos on downforce a lot. Let's have a quick look. You know what? Just screw it. I'll just tell you for now. Lips and... whatchamacallits? Lips and... spoilers. Don't do anything most of the time. Sometimes, if you're lucky, but don't rely on it. Just use wings. Wings are what give downforce in 99% of cases. Welcome, Crownless. How's it going? This car is like the Dodge Viper, it just wants to kill you. I'm very much assuming that we're going to get the same thing out of this Daytona. Oh, actually, hold on. You know what? I've got the Daytona track. No, I don't. Do I? No. Oh, no, I have Talladega. That should be everything I need. And let's go to the Talladega map. There we go. Talladega Speedway. Add a wing and hide it with 3D mode. That's how you add downforce at front. Not necessarily. There are actually mods which look like front splitters, but are actually wings. The other thing you can do is you can place a front wing and you can just paint it invisible. You don't have to 3D place it and hide it. Alright, let's bring out the Dalton Daytona. Have you ever solved a Rubik's Cube? No, I've never really bothered to try either. I tried as a kid, and it just was not my thing. Oh, not Dega? What? Well, okay, thanks for the info. We'll take a look before submitting my car. Sure, but also, actually drive the car in BeamNG. See how the car handles. If it doesn't handle well in BeamNG, then you need to go back and do tuning. That's where you would look at my video called Filmline 86 Suspensions All Over Your Face. I go into there about slow speed steering and high speed steering. Or fast steering. Alright. I'm actually excited to try this one out. So, let's have a look to see the info on the person that did this one. So this is by the person that quit me. Alexandria Brangwin. This is the Dalton Daytona, 1955, and $15,200. So it's a very affordable, small, big V8 car. So it's a cheap 6-liter pushrod V8 thrills at 175 mile per hour top speed, which is pretty impressive. Call it a tourer, call it a cruiser, call it noisy as that word. YouTube don't demonetize me. But yeah, so this is $15,200. A very cheap car. Low revving engine? Yeah, I mean, didn't a lot of these ones have very low revving engines anyway? Well, not to brag, but I have solved it in 47 seconds. Cool, good to hear. If I make really low and long wing, will it kind of simulate ground force? Kind of. But that is actually something I'd also like to mention. Do not 3D rotate wings, because most of the time it'll glitch it out and you won't end up with a wing anymore. It'll just be kind of like half a wing. And at worst, you'll end up with downforce on one side. So don't do that. But yes, having a low wing angle, so you know the aero sliders for front and rear in the aerodynamics section of automation? They actually dictate the angle in which the aeroplane is when it comes into BeamNG. So if I quickly bring out the previous car, we'll have a look at that. So you can see here that this is a small wing, and this is a slightly larger wing, and then this one is quite a long wing because it goes into the body a bit. So 3D, like the three-dimensional physical size of the wing does actually affect how big this plane is. So what you're looking for in BeamNG, this is Control-T I pressed, by the way. The size of this plane that exports for wings is actually how much effective aero you get. But the longer you make it, it's a little bit cheaty, yes, and I don't approve if you're trying to submit for this sort of stuff unless you're going for the fastest car ever and you don't care about like being realistic at all. Having it really long and wide, sure, doesn't need to be particularly wide. With a low angle will give you a decent amount of downforce with low amount of drag, because the higher you have that angle, no matter what, it'll have calculated a larger amount of drag. Anyway, let's switch back to the Dalton. And this one looks interesting. I do think I'm interested by this guy. Why did it spawn that? Whatever. Use it at around 6k RPM. This is quite an old car, though. And probably with a truck engine, as you said. I'm curious what 15,000 in 1955... That's not how it works. There is no inflation in automation. They haven't bothered to do that, which is fine. Actually, it makes it easy. Gotcha. This thing must have some insane punch. You can go 175 with that brick wall of a front windshield. Yeah, I also tend to agree. Refillman, do you know that wing that is forwards, like rotated forwards? Yeah, that thing is like, what? Don't do drugs, kids. While trying to make a Group C car here, and pretty sure they have ground force. They do. But getting ground force to work is not really particularly accurate in this game, because you're going to have no gain in downforce by being lower. So the way ground force, one of the ways in which ground force works is the lower you go, the more downforce you create. That doesn't happen with the wings that you export from BeamNG. And that was actually a part of the reason why a lot of people died in that sort of era as well in the 80s, is because they would start to get lower on a bounce, but then the aero would also suck it lower. So if it was still in a longer duration bounce or a particularly sharp bounce, it would also suck it to the ground. And then when the under tray actually touched the ground, no downforce, suddenly, and you would fly off the track and die. That's why people were dying at that era in time. It was crazy. Nice to know? Good. This car looks pretty good. I think so too. Remember, kids, stay in drugs, eat your skull, and don't do vegetables. Sounds about right. Yeah, I think that's correct. Remember, lots of beans. There is an automation wing that is a mod, and stock is rotated for... I don't know what you're trying to say. Rev it, Philman. I want to hear the sound. Okay. That's a pretty nice, clean sound. I like it. Proposing is a hell of a thing. What? Anyway. Oh, that's a long first gear. That's unfortunate. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on. What was that? Yeah, let's accelerate again. Hold on, sorry. Is this sand? I can't tell. Anyway. 3,000? Oh, okay, it must have just, like, lost traction or something, and then BeamNG didn't know how to switch gears properly. Ah, God, this thing is a bit twitchy in its peaky power. So now I understand... This racetrack sucks. The hell? I thought I'd tried this track... I've already tried this track out. There's something weird with it. Whatever. But this is where you would probably take a muscle car like this anyway, in America. So 175 miles per hour is 160, 235, 240, about 250 kilometers an hour. So I believe if this thing was on a long enough straight that it could probably actually reach that. But we're not going to reach it here at Daytona. Wait, no, sorry, Talladega. And also, I'm not a big fan of this track with how narrow it is. And apparently how bumpy it is as well. I might go in and fix this map and then try to re-upload it or something. It's twerking? Just a bit. A little bit twitchy there. IndyCar in the 1900s? Be like twerk competitions everywhere? Really? What? Oh, look! We're almost at 250. Nice! We can stay flat in this all the way around. This thing handles pretty well on a NASCAR track, which is pretty much all you'd need to know. But the question is how does it handle on the road? And it's actually very stable as well at high speed. Impressive. We're still going up in speed. 260. Damn, I'm gonna see what we can do. Ah, twerking. Alright, scrubbed a little bit of speed off. Stay off the wall. Damn it. Alright, we scrubbed off a bunch of speed. Let's try that again. See how fast we can go by the end of this straight with the curve in it. We can't go much faster because it looks like we're getting pretty close to a red line as well. No, okay. Let's try this corner again. See if we can't do a little bit better this time. God, this is... Such subtle inputs are needed. Subtle inputs that I cannot do. I think that's partly to do with how janky this track is. Ha! Off the wall. Okay. 261. 265. Oh, nearly 270. Let's see if we can carry a lot of speed through this corner and then go for one last push. See if we can go over 270. Not by the looks of it. It looks like we scrubbed off a bunch of speed. That's unfortunate. No. Alright, we're not going to do it. Oh god, okay. Very twitchy there. I think you guys know what's going to come next. Oh, bugger! Scheisenhauer. Well, I had the inside wall and that kind of ruined my spectacular crash that I was going for. Bugger. Also, these wheels are very chrome. What the hell? There's no texture under the map, apparently. Okay. Ooh, 260R. Twerking is something you don't want what? Oh, to hear with your eyes closed. Okay. How to build an American sports car. Does it turn left? If yes, then congratulations. You have built an American sports car. Yeah, that's kind of how I agree. I like how the car starts speeding up quicker going into the corner than on the straights. Sure. 268 top speed, impressive. Yeah, that was actually pretty darn fast. Let's try a more regular type map though, so you can kind of see what it's like to drive. Let's go with would we see it on West? You know, we probably would see it on West Coast. Let's try Dockyards. It's very like a muscle car kind of area. Lol. Sure. Huh? Anyway, I think my game has crashed. Yay. Oy vey. What's happening? What's going on? I think I broke it. Got a little bit of jazz going on in the background. Okay, what's happening? I broke it. I can't tell if it's loading in the background. It was loading in the background. I was this close to Alt F4 and then trying to relaunch the game. Okay. Let's try this car a little bit more, shall we? West Coast is like the only map I use besides the Car Jump Arena. I like East Coast as well, but that's a little bit more like if I was to be testing out trucks. So this thing sucks off the line. Oh god, okay. Slow speed oversteer. Oh my god. This thing has ginormous low-speed oversteer. Hold on. Let me try to steer without power oversteer. So we're just going to turn... Okay, this thing scrubs off a little too much speed. Clutch. Okay. So the oversteer is... Like, I'm using a relatively small amount of power, but it is power oversteer nonetheless. I think this thing generates a little too much torque for its lightweightedness. So it feels alive, but you'll only feel alive for a short amount of time until you feel a little too alive and then go sideways into a tree. As you see, there are understeers, but you put a little bit of power on and this thing oversteers like absolute bonkersness. And then you try to handbrake it and it oversteers too much. Open diff? I don't think so. No, it's not acting like it, so I think it is some sort of geared. Sorry, some sort of LSD. You know what? It's handling so shittily, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing had a locker, but it doesn't have the symbol down there, so it's not actually a locker. Okay. Let's try driving around a little bit more before we hand down a score on this car, which I am liking. Okay, this thing has no grip whatsoever. That was understeer and oversteer at the same time, also known as a four-wheel drift, also known as not something you particularly want in a race car, or a sports car really, because that just means slower turning. So what sort of wheels have we got on here? We got medium or hard long life, something like that. I think those are hard long life, so that might be part of the reason why we have an issue. Which would also explain why they were so afraid and made themselves a ginormously long gearbox. Because otherwise, this gearbox sucks. Ramp it up the dam. I don't know if this thing goes up things particularly well. Could I have an automatic locker? Yeah, potentially. Alright, so I can't drift this one. It's a little too jank. Where is the jump area? Here's the jump area. Okay. I don't think we're going to be able to get particularly fast. Okay, yeah, spawn the wrong way around. Thanks, dickbag of a game. Get it together, game designers. Could have a steel tube instead of a differential? Yeah, sure. Sounds about right. I'm gonna have to be careful pushing it. And then full speed! Not particularly amazing. Alright, let's go the other way around. And see how much air we can get going that way. I think we might go on the other side though, so then that way we can ramp the wall around. Hopefully that works. I've not tried this in a very long time. And oh god, that wasn't meant to happen at all. Can you stop? Thank you. Okay, go across the water. Alright, let's quickly fix that and go again. Alright, lots of wheel spin. And away we go. Okay. I'm gonna try to build up as much speed as possible. Okay. See, I didn't want to take that one normally on a flat part of the ground because this car gets scary in corners. Quite scary. Okay, well that didn't work. Shit. What a fail. What a massive fail that was. Oh dear. Also, the windshield wipers are not done right, which leads me to think that maybe this thing wasn't meant to have a vertical front windshield. Maybe it was just an import, save, export issue. Alright, let's try this again. Dangerous car? Just a smidge. Oh, okay. Sorry, car, I didn't mean to call you dangerous. Please don't bite my head off again. Alright, flat out. We're going to try to go down the flat part of the track this time. Handles like a TVR? Yeah, a little bit. But then some people would say that the, whatchamacallit, the AC Cobra that this is based on is a little bit more British than anything else. Okay, I can't make the turn. It just doesn't happen. This thing doesn't have the grip to go around. It's everything American from the era. Yeah, pretty much. I love it. All right. Let's have a look at our next car. Ah, the RS200 Rally. So, we can actually stay on this track. Map, I should say. Let's do a little bit of figure eight with this. I'm not sure if this is meant to be dirt or whatnot, but we'll give it a try. Yeah, that's seen better days. So, the Ford RS2000 widebody or silhouette, I don't know. By Talking Bath. Sure, this is a 1985 car and it's $147,000. That's quite a hefty amount of money to pay for a Ford. One Drift Boy, it has 604 horsepower and all-wheel drive. So, I'm guessing that this thing is going to be a little bit bonkers. I can assume. Killer car? Yeah, just a smidge. Just a smidge. It's everything American from the era. Who can, straights, yes. Corners. What are corners? It's like, yeah, straights. Yeah, we can do that. Corners. People just slow down for corners, right? Why would you go faster on corners unless it's banked? I see the issue. Not Morica. The tonk looks giant in the photo, but you're up for a disappointment. That much I know. That's seen better days. Well, that's a good thing, as it's scary as the age. What? I'm not sure what you're trying to say. The Tony is Proud Boy. Ah, tonk. You mean the Tony is Proud Tonk. Okay, I get what you're saying. Just like MT Hyperblat, it understood. Okay, sure. Okay, let's give this one a try. Now, this one should have death oversteer, which is how the Ford RS200 worked. This thing actually feels like it handles quite nicely. I'm getting lots of frame drop, though. Ooh. Oh, this feels nice. So effortlessly drifting with not crazy amounts of oversteer. Ooh, this is good. Feels like I could have a little bit more traction, though. Feels like I'm scrubbing off a little too much speed. Oh, God, off the wall. Oh, my God. Wow, just powering, extra power, actually keeps you off the wall. Okay, no! I'll avoid that. This is nice. Oh, my God. So, the first car, the really ugly one, I give that a 2 out of 10. The second one, it looks fairly nice. I feel as if it was meant to look nicer, but it exported incorrectly. That one I would give a... Oh, okay, well, we finally hit the wall. That one I would give a... You know what? I want to see what this handles like without that rear wing. Can we pull you off? Not how I meant to phrase that. Okay, there we go. Got it off. Oh, looks like we lost a bit of front air as well. Okay, lots of oversteer now. Or instantly oversteer. That's a bit weird. And then... Still pretty good. We're not going particularly fast. Like the speedo says we're doing 100 kilometers an hour. But that's not taking into consideration wheel spin, so we'd have to have up airspeed. Alright. I like this. So yeah, the previous car, I think could have looked better if it had imported correctly. The handling is unfortunate. Gearing is a little bit too long, especially for that era. I would give the previous one like a 7. I did like it a lot. This one feels so nice. It's like a 7. Sorry, it's like a 9. I love the handling. The design is interesting. The execution is not the most amazing thing in the world. But the handling is so nice. Decrease the pressure a little? Yeah, I'm thinking I might try that as well. All I hear is the sliding song from Mario 64. Sure, I've not really played much Mario Kart though. Okay, that nice, very controllable drifter. Very much so. It's so stable. What tires are on this? Let's have a quick look. Very narrow, actually. So, surprising. We have hard long lives. Interesting. Let's go into tuning. Go into tire pressure. Let's drop that down to 15 and 17. Okay, there we go. Let's try that out. See how much extra traction we get. It looks like... looks as if the rear was chopped off and placed on the front to make it more wedge. No. Oh crap. How do I make a 69 joke when it's a 9? Huh? Anyway, let's try that again. And this thing doesn't bog off the line either. I was expecting it to bog off the line with the huge amount of power that they're getting from a small engine. 600 horsepower from a small 4-cylinder in the 80s? Not particularly easy. I am guessing, though, that they went with ball bearing turbos, which weren't really used because ball bearing turbos were unreliable. They would cook and burn out, and they could give out like mid-race. So they were not preferred. General ball bearing, you lost a little bit of power, but you had a lot more reliability. Especially on a rally car, the reliability was key. So important. I feel that this thing is considerably faster. Off the wall. Wow, you can literally just handbrake it a little bit more and then power away from the wall. That is so cool. I love it. Nope, okay, I stopped that corner up. Ah! Alright, let's have a look at the aero on this thing. So, we have... Is that a really big front wing or just a big front wing? Let's see, how far does this... Oh my god, the front wing goes all the way down to here. That's a big rear wing. And then, do we have anything lower? No. So we have just the one wing, but it is ginormous. Then on the front, we have... nothing. No front aero whatsoever. Do we? Hold on. What's that? No, that's chassis. Yeah, no front wing. Also, this suspension is exported weirdly. I've never seen the suspension export as a triangle before. Oh, it's McPherson strut. Would that be why it does that? That's weird. That I have never seen before. I'm gonna have to investigate what this phenomenon is. Anyway. Yeah. Surprising. I thought this thing would have a balance of error, but this thing is just really good. Same. Wait, you're not in school anymore? I have taken too much cocaine today at school. Sounds like a... yes. That's what it sounds like. It looks like a chipmunk with a mouthful of acorns. I agree. Yes, I see that. That's funny. I like that. This car is art. This car is art. It's a rally car that's insane at drifting. I don't do drugs, just vegetables. Lame. If you're not doing drugs, you're not cool. Peer pressure. Peer pressure's cool, right? I read that, Zoma humor, when things are so lame they become cool again. So, does that mean that, peer pressure is cool again? Now, I wonder how this thing drifts on bitumen. Because so far, this car is bitching, man. See what I did there? I made a funny joke. It was good. If you guys don't know what bitumen is, it's what Australians call asphalt. Not entirely sure why there's a difference, but it's what we call it. Oh, it's bogging down a little bit, unfortunately. That sucked. Even worse than drugs? What is? What? I'm confused. This thing scrubs off a lot of speed when braking on dirt, which is surprising. I would not have expected that. Oh my god, it's so controllable. This car is so good. I could just do this for the rest of the stream and just, like, say damn it with all the other cars. This one is just so handleable. Oh, god damn it. Ah, frick. Well, let's go ahead and try this one on some bitumen. Yeah, we're gonna do the small track. Oh god, because there's lots of corners. Stick some broccoli up your nose and intake. It's better than cocaine. Sure, okay. Vegetables are healthy, so that's even worse than drugs. Ah, okay, yes. Oh wow, this thing doesn't bog down on bitumen either. Cool. Oh god. Okay, so it is prone to oversteer and then understeer. Okay, so you have to handbrake to get this thing going. Otherwise, it just wants to understeer its speed. Let's try a proper corner. That's a lot of understeer. Okay, so understeer, just say no, kids. Oversteer, yeah. Go off the track, that's fine. It's an off-roader. It's a rally car. It'll be fine off track. Huh, ha, I stuffed that up. Stuffed it up bad. But look at that, we can recover it anyway. Oh, okay, understeer. Driving this on dirt is easy. Driving it on bitumen takes a lot more skill and experience. Okay, game. I didn't want you to clutch, I wanted you to clutch dump into first gear or something. Just get me like wheel spin going forwards. There we go. Lots and lots of mahoosive power. 600 horsepower? That's what it looks like. You know, even though this thing locks up under brakes, it still scrubs off a huge amount of speed. Alright, let's take this thing down the end of the front straight. There was... Wait, hold on. What about fruit? Sure. Weed and nose. There are... they're sweet... What? What are you talking about? They're sweet? Or is that sweat? So, a bit better, but still bad cause help... Oh, fruit, okay. My god. Didn't understand what you were saying there. What about oh god. So, this may shock some of you, but I'm divorced. In my first marriage, my only marriage, for our wedding cake, she was Cambodian. So we had like a big layer cake. We had 2 layers for normal people, and then the big bottom layer was huge, and it was Duran cake. And when people say that Duran smells bad, yeah, it smelled like onions. It didn't like permeate very much because it was only a cake, but they say that Duran only smells bad but tastes quite nice. So I tried the Duran cake. It smelled like onions, but it tasted like onions. Moral of the story, don't get married. Okay, let's move on. Sideways and stylish is more fun than being fast but boring. Yeah, sure. Wait, what? Yes, going stylish and sideways is more fun. Alright, let's bring it down here. Brake early. Handbrake it. Damn it! That sucked. Phil and cake law. I learned something about Phil just now. Are you sure that it wasn't onions also? They loved it. The Cambodians there, they loved the onion-smelling cake, but it was Duran cake. It was actually a really cheap, affordable cake too. This was a big 3-tier cake. Like, I can't even show you fully. Like, it was a big 3-tier cake. And it was only like $450. Wowzers. Oh, wow. Chat just did something weird. Heard that Duran smells like rotten fresh. So there was also, they had just regular Duran, and it didn't smell great. Maybe it's a different sort of Duran? Oh, durian? I'm not actually sure how to pronounce it. I never really did learn properly. It smelled mostly like onions to me, though. Welcome, DC. How's it going? And Trouble 2X. I haven't said hello to you yet. Also, I lols you. Welcome. I once got a whiff of 1978 Porsche 911 SC exhaust fumes. Close to a drug I may ever take. That was nice. I used to go to drifting all the time out at Malala Raceway, which is a local racetrack to me. And, oh my god, I got addicted to the smell of tire smoke. It was so good. And even still now, when I smell tire smoke, and I'm like, I need to go back out and start drifting again. Durian smells bad and tastes weird, but not of onions, at least to me. Fair enough. That's the... something or other flower that smells like rotten flesh. There is actually a few flowers that bloom after a long period of time and smell like rotten flesh. We Indonesians eat it also, but not in cake form. It wasn't normal to be in cake form, but the person was willing to oblige. But there is different sorts of durian, and I'm gonna guess that the Indonesian version is probably different from the Cambodian version, or the Khmer version. Indians eat it also, but not in cake form. Sure. Durian. Okay, so it's how you spell it, not say it. Durian smells bad, though we call it stinky fruit. Fair enough. Petrol stations and older car exhaust smell... I hate the smell of petrol. Hate it. I only went to FD once in Florida. I don't know what you're trying to say there. I wish to never experience this food. Probably, yeah. Unless you like onions. But also, Cambodians have, like, weird, food tastes because they, were decimated, during the Khmer Rouge. So many of them were killed during that, and also a lot of history was lost during the Khmer Rouge. So, a lot of, oh, lost the wing just then. A lot of culture was lost. So, weirdly, their, like, national dishes, like Tuk Bahat, is, like, the not good parts of meat and stuff. Because that was the stuff that was thrown away by the, people that were in the Khmer Rouge. So they learned to make good meals out of it. So, fair enough, but it's very unfortunate because I would have liked to have known what Cambodia was like before the Khmer Rouge. And I am thinking I might go to Cambodia one day because it has Angkor Wat in there, all that sort of stuff, like the oldest civilization known to humanity. Really cool. Or is it the oldest temple known to humanity? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's the oldest surviving civilization known to humanity. Turn the other way! Damn it, you were meant to inertia drift. The smell of leaded fuel was worse than normal. I hope you didn't go around sniffing leaded fuel. God, that would be brain damage. One of those flowers that smells like rotten flesh is a stinky lily. My partner has one. And I believe it's called the corpse flower. There's a few different ones, but yeah, so... she was given it by her mum. I don't know why, but she's really looking forward to the day in which it blooms. Durian is more potent than mustard gas. Sure, okay. Never been to Formula Drift. Okay. Been the F1 quail, though. Quali, though. Oh, okay, then. Been to F1 quali. Okay, then. Yeah, the temple is... temple in the jungle. Yeah. I'm actually... really glad that the Khmer Rouge, out of like all of the things that they destroyed, they didn't destroy Angkor Wat, because that would have been an absolute, like, sure, people dying is a tragedy. Don't let me take away from that. But in the grand scheme of humanity, that's only a, like, humans don't live particularly long. But history, book burning, all that sort of stuff, that's also like a crime against all generations going into the future. And they did a lot of book burning. They were also some of the dumbest rulers as well. I don't know how they got into power. Anyway. My father has one too. They also only have one leaf, but it looks... like many, okay? I mean, not intentionally, but a bunch of it on my hands. Wow. Pre-flight check. Okay. Are you a pilot? Is she looking forwards to when it blooms so she can throw it at the... Yeah. I'm guessing something like that. Smell some E85, dude. That's real stuff. Oh, dear God. All right, let's check out the next car on our list and get back onto the topic of cars and less on the topic of fruit, which we somehow got onto. I don't know. Ah, okay. We once again have a pony car. Which track do we take this to? I think we're going to use this car around this track, but we're going to take it back down to the docks again. Docks are down here. Here we go. Okay. Oh, we got weird axle hop. Strange. All right. So, Controller, what is the name of this car? This car is called the Marani R2 Tibero GT. Let's have a look. Here we go. This is by Ralph Bold. Thank you for the car. 1968. So this is a very early pony muscle car. $77,800. Okay, so sorry to tell you, but that's a little bit overpriced for a car of this era and being a V6. Most people are going to be like, eh. Also, there was no description on this car, so I don't know much about it. Sorry, you had a bit of a weird sneezy sort of thing. That's what I thought I'd mute. I'm not a pilot, but I have flown aircraft before. Sweet. Some packaging foam has a nice weird. Okay. From cars to drugs to smelly fruit and the okay then. Yes. All right. This engine is a little bit quiet, but I suppose quiet was important back then. Okay, we have massive amounts of understeer. Massive amounts of understeer. You brake and this thing is not turning anymore. Oh, this thing locks up way too easily. Oh, way too... Like, I'm braking like 9% and it's wanting to lock up still. Like, lock up? Oh, God. That was like 27%. And you can't brake and turn. Oh, then we get a little bit of oversteer. Oh, this thing does not like to be oversteered. I get the feeling that maybe this thing has problem with high-speed oversteer. Okay. You know what? Let's take this one back to the racetrack and see how this thing does at like a full-blown race lap. Oh, there you go. Alright, let's try this again. First gear is way too long, compensating probably for too much wheel spin. Hold on. What sort of tires do we have here? Oh, God. That camera's way too fast. We have sports, or is that semi-slick? I believe that's sports, yeah. All right, let's see how it handles taking a proper racing line and braking markers. Ah, okay, it becomes skittish under brakes. Turning is okay, but we have too much power oversteer. Okay, this thing just has weird handling characteristics. Too much understeer, then oversteer. And I'm assuming when this thing gets up in speed, okay, game, I'm gonna have to control the gearbox manually because it doesn't know what it's doing. Oh, you know what? It's not even oversteering when it's power oversteering. It's just doing, I believe, a one-wheel peel. This does not handle satisfyingly. So I've never driven a muscle car because they don't really exist here in Australia. Do they feel unsatisfying to drive? Because this thing feels really unsatisfying to drive. I feel like this thing could do with an LSD of some sort. But then again, it's an early muscle car. So what year is it? 1968. So, I mean, I suppose it is an early one, so maybe it wouldn't come with an LSD. American cars usually have understeer or oversteer. Yeah, I'm assuming as much. Yeah, we all know that the Mustang is the first muscle car. Land yacht, only it imitates a Mustang. So, I wouldn't call this a land yacht. Look how short of a wheelbase this thing is. That's not a land yacht. It's just really unfortunate handling. No, they are crazy fun? Okay. So, that, previous car, I loved. This one, not so much. Like that RS200 car, that one's getting a 9 out of 10. That thing handles so nicely on dirt. This one, however, the design is quite nice. I don't like the fact that they made transparent windows, but then didn't make an interior. That's kind of a little bit irksome. And then the handling is really unfortunate. So the only thing that this thing has going for it is this, like, nice bodywork. It is a very simple, basic design, but it's actually quite effective. The front is questionable. Yeah, you know what? I don't like the front. I like the side profile on the front. I like the side profile in general. And then the rear looks quite nice. The front doesn't look nice. The interior is a letdown. The handling is abysmal, especially for these sorts of tires. Is it cross-ply? No, those are whatchamacallits, radials. So this car gets, like, I like the look of it, and it doesn't handle horrifically. It's just very unsatisfying. Like, lock up under turning, not great. So I'm gonna give this car maybe like a 5.5 out of 10. It's got one good thing for it, and it looks really good. So yeah, I mean, I can give it a little bit of leeway. But let's see how quick this thing goes over dirt. Big yikes. Let's investigate a little bit. Also, quad cam on a 60s vehicle? I don't think so. Especially an American 60s car. So, wasn't the original Mustang an inline-6, not a V6? So I wouldn't say that that's really imitating it either. But yeah. I like the look of it. This has actually improved the look of it as well. Keyboard stopped working again. I need to get a new keyboard, but that keyboard was really expensive. Muscle cars usually handle terrible? Sure, but I'm assuming not unsatisfying like that. So Philman, you know Group C, Group 5, and everything. So remember when I said that I should make a Group 5000 pigeon? That Group 5 times 1,000, that was invented by Shinyod. Shinyod, sorry. I don't think I really remember that. Oh, you mean the one that he made for our challenge? I wouldn't call it 5,000. What? It was just a really good car. And it was on pace with mine. Almost. Almost as fast as mine. It's just I suck as a driver. So it's accurate. Phil, when will you make the Greg Drive video? Oh, I made drive videos, but I'm not using Greg because I don't want demonetization issues. It's not so much demonetization because I'm not monetized at the moment anyway, but like YouTube doesn't share things around if it's got questionable content of any sort, no matter how lame the questionable content is. Dead car, those LED lights don't match the time period, is that? Oh, you know what? They are LED. That's also questionable, yeah. Original Mustang concept was a V4. That I think I knew. Finland, do you have a doc or spreadsheet with links to your favorite or all of your cars? I have a document of all of your cars, but I've not really put things on it. You can just go through and watch every single one of my streams if you want, or you can start making a doc yourself if you so choose. In Group 6000 Henry, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, wait, I think I do vaguely know what you're talking about, but I don't really remember it. So, let's move along. Okay, we have the Mini Laugh NASCAR. Wait, hold on. This is not on the list. No, it's not. Okay, so that's actually not We're up to this vehicle. Do I skip it? Just because nobody seems interested? Is that what we should do? Okay, we'll bring it out. But we're not going to bring it out to this map. We're going to bring it out to, like, the sort of area where you would test a tank. And also, small tanks, not very American. So we're not going to be using that map. We're going to be using the Italy map. And we're just going to go out into, like, a field somewhere and practice tank usage. Because it also does look a little bit like an early World War I, II sort of tank period sort of thing. Henry the Hoover car. Don't know it. It was Group 6000? No. There was already Group 6 anyway. Rally the Tonk? We use tank? What? Alright, well, we're going to be trying out the tank now. Sure. This needs to, what is it? Load faster. Italy map, I love it, but it is one of the worst maps for loading and performance in the entire game. It's very unfortunate. I'm using very unfortunate a lot, but here it also applies. It applies everywhere, god damn it! Oh my god, this thing needs to load quicker! I now regret bringing it into this map. I should have just brought it to Utah. I was thinking to myself, I should probably go Utah, but then I thought, you know what? It's European kind of small tank. Finally, okay. Where do we take this? Where would be good tank playground? Probably just in the middle of a field somewhere. Somewhere around here. Yeah, let's spawn it. Oh, God. That's very fast. Right here. Right here. Right now. Okay, PLP-50 tank. Tonk. No, it says tank, but we call it Tonk. Chat is having a massive acid trip. Yeah, I tend to agree. Okay, so let's go a little bit into the description of this vehicle first. Okay, so this is the PLP-50 tank, and it is just an armored PLP-50. This is by Carlicus. Are they trying to say that they lick ass? Anyway, this is a 2020 car and it's $16,600. There is no description for this car, so I do know nothing about it other than the price and year. And the fact that the creator licks ass. You should have dropped it from orbit? We'll try that. I will be disappointed if the Tonk doesn't have Tonk steering. No, it was exported from automation like this. Camera placement is very unfortunate. Oh my god. Okay, let's line it up, and we're just gonna floor it. Damn it, okay, trees are in the way. This thing looks like it wants to do a, oh my god. Oh my god. It handles like a tank. Oh my god, what is happening? Why does it handle like this? Oh my god, damn. Break time! Oh god! Oh god! I thought we would almost save it there for a second, but apparently not. Alright. 12,000 RPM. Oh wait, it does go that high. Jesus Christ. I am disappointed. I don't know about that. Welcome, Canola Skies. How's it going? You've just joined us just in time for tank. But yes, oh god. This thing handles so weird. And I love it because it does actually remind me of World of Tonks. Oh god. Ah. What's this weird thing that keeps... Oh, I think that's the steering rack that keeps popping out the hood. Why don't you like to switch gears? What's wrong with you? Alright, let's bring it right here. Right here. Right now. Rear diff lock. Range low. Clutch dump. Damn it, I was hoping it would do a backflip. Let's try that again. Damn it, it won't do it. Alright, let's try just normal range gearbox and then try doing... Damn it, it won't backflip. I'm very disappointed. Oh my god, this thing Goes like stink. Oh, you know what it was? I think I had front drive shaft still attached. Okay, let's try that again. What the fuck? It crab walked there for a second. What the... The car broke itself. What the hell? I think the front suspension has disconnected from the... That is so weird and jank. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Oh god! Oh god! That was not meant to happen. I'm using... Oh, sorry. The tank is aggressive, brings the skips... What? Imagine using this in a race. Formula Tank 1? Sure. SCP-6969, aka Small Talk. What? I don't even know what you're talking about. You high? Don't do vegetables. They're bad for you. Sees window on back of tank. Windows are structural weakness. I mean, is it really... I mean, it's reinforced. But they've only reinforced the windows. The rest of the body is still made of fiberglass, I'm assuming. Rally the Tonk. I am amused and disappointed all at the same time. No Tonk would destroy... What? 096 on Google? Is that a Lancia? I think I know this thing. So what about this? No tank would destroy... Oh, okay, so you're saying that the tank wouldn't be able to destroy this. Okay, then. Search, contain, protect. Oh, okay. Weird. I don't think I know that one. Is that like a Zoomer's version of, Slenderman, which was a millennial thing? Ugh! Goddamn keyboard. What? What just happened? Something weird just happened. Hold on, give me a second. I think the tank is fine. Tank looks good to me. I see no issue here. But because it should also be made out of cast iron, this thing should be totally fine with touching the ground. Back to 100 times slow. Oh, it pancaked hard. Oh, that is some stretched materials. That's big yikes. Whoa. Jesus. All right, back to normal speed. Tank, everyone. Give it a round of applause. Let's go on and find a bit of dirt road to rally. I'm guessing that this thing is going to roll immediately I try to take a corner at speed. Still on there. I don't want to do dangerous rally track, so we're just going to do a little bit of a downhill section. Or maybe I should race uphill, considering this thing is actually quite fast. Let's start at about here and just go uphill. Oh, it doesn't work anymore. Bugger. Well, looks like there's no more tonk. I'm joking. Aren't I funny? See you guys, hope you'll see again. What do you mean, hope? Is there something that could potentially stop? Anyway. We're all gonna die now, gotta go now. Oh, that's why you hope that we don't die. Are there any old cars? There was. But, I'm not sure if there's any left. I think of SCP as monsters. They can take form of ordinary everyday objects, but others take the form as actual monsters. Search SCP has threat level and a way to keep them from... What? It'd be nice if I knew where SCP came from. And if it has any relation to ICP. But then again, ICP is probably an SCP. Can you select another gear? That'd be great. There you go. Look, you found that you had more than one gear. Yay! Oh god! This thing has handling characteristics. Oh god, okay. Okay, now we're caught. We have to rewind now. That's unfortunate. This car is not good at handling. Because it's got such a short wheelbase and such a heavy amount of power, this thing tends to the oversteer. Okay, let's turn off that rear diff and hopefully we'll get a little bit less weird snap oversteer. This vehicle feels way too tall as well. This is fun, but also really hard! Like that. See? Oh, it righted itself! Huh? And there we go. There we have our Tonk. Now, as our previous car only got like a 5.5 sort of score, this one I actually find quite fun. And actually quite funny. I do enjoy it. An 8 out of 10? I actually did enjoy it. But it has fundamental flaws, and realism is a score that is completely out of the window here. So I think 8 out of 10 is a pretty good score. I did enjoy this quite a bit. But yes, it has issues. And that's because you're choosing such a minuscule body. We are SCP. What? I don't think the Nazis bunker inside a woman's nose is a monster. What are you talking about? But then again, I always thought that the PLP-50 did look a little bit like a ginormous nose. A schnauzer. How many reverse gears does it have? I'm assuming just the one. Yeah, by the looks of it, just one. Yeah. So, what are you trying to say? It's not French? Handbrake doesn't work. Great. Handbrake is doing nothing. Full handbrake on now, nothing. A monstrous place, sure, but not a monster in and of itself? I'm so confused. That's an M3 Lee. This is not a BMW at all. I'm joking. I know what an M3 Lee is. The handbrake is still on, by the way. So the Tonk is not French. Well, the Grant has a turret bulge. And the British... and is British and the Lee doesn't have... I don't know what you're talking about, bruh. I would like to say, don't do drugs. Because clearly you're on something. Don't tell me you're high on life. Because I don't believe you. Let's just see how much this costs while we're talking. Are we at the end of music? There's no music left! There we go, okay. I remember in World of Tanks, my favorite tank for the longest time was the Rubber Ducky. French tank. Really, really good. And I was really good at using it. Also, the AMX-40, I think is what it was called, or something like that. The one that was directly after it as well. That was also my favorite. Because I would just run around and then shoot other tanks in the rear. It was so much fun. But they nerfed them so hard. I don't think I've watched Metal Slug. Bulge Uwu. Okay. The tank is an M3 Lee, not an M3 Grant. Sure, okay. Why is everyone saying bulge? What am I missing? Why, high off the video. Don't do videos, kids. They're bad for you. Ah! There we go. Alright, now we're getting speed up. Woo! Okay. Okay. This has not gone well. This is not how I was hoping this would go. I thought that there would be a road, like a couple of meters down, but it turns out I was wrong. Okay, hold on. We can do this. It seems as if the engine is detached from everything else. Or maybe everything else is... Come on, get on your wheels! No, there we go, got it. There we... Oh, well, we've lost a wheel. It seems that this thing has had a bit of a problem with steering now. Alright. Dead tank? Not quite. It's not dead yet. All you have to do is now start shooting really fast and you've got a 360 spray gun. Raw. 3x nuzzles. How are you... What are you talking about? I don't understand anything! Is it now a Beyblade, not sponsored by Beyblade? Sure, okay. Next vehicle. I enjoy the tank. It gets an 8 out of 10. Now we're on to supercars. Let's actually have a look at the Ripshare first, see what it's written about it first. Ripshare Standard Eco Mark 1.4. I doubt the Eco in its name, honestly. This is made by Low Hostage. It's a 2020, and it's $149,000, so it's not particularly badly priced for a supercar, but also not particularly great. And yes, my voice did start to break, and now I'm making it break deliberately on purpose. And I don't know why I'm still doing it, because it sounds stupid. Moving on. This car was a pain. It was hard tuning, and then it was being a pain and beam. So it doesn't have any rear taillight details. Okay. Let's go find ourselves a freeway and do a little bit of a freeway cruise. Because we're in Italy, the land of supercars. And a freeway is where most people are going to be pushing these sorts of cars to extremes. That's my reasoning, and I'm sticking to it. Turn right, you shit. Oh, whatever. Control E. Let's bring out the new one. So, the Ripshire by Low Hostage. It's finally Cocktober. Huh? The Whittle tank is unkillable. I can't believe I actually said that right first time round and understood it by the end of it. Did you test the Arrow FRT 20 already? Hold on, let me check that out. I think I did. No, I haven't. Sorry. That one comes last because I'm savoring it. And welcome, Flame Z. I don't think I've said hello to you yet. Your voice sounds kind of funny, Phil. What do you mean my voice sounds funny? What are you trying to say? Anyway, let's go down this way and see how this vehicle handles. That's a lot of power. Feels as if it's being suffocated a lot, though, however, by ESC. Brakes? I feel as if you would want slightly better brakes. But let's drive down the road. Okay. Bit of a weird handling quirk there. Also, once again, they've used, sneakily, the hardest body in the game to use. This car is actually not good. Sorry. Hardest body to design on, I should say. It's very tricky. Oh! They've got a rear wing glitch. So if you saw there it was flapping in the wind, the rear wing, I'll show it to you again. That is caused by not having a long enough wing or not enough angle. So the air can get underneath it, which then causes it to lift up, and then it'll start to spring back down because of how beams work. And then the thing is, see there, it's fluttering. So we're starting to like lose effectiveness of the rear wing. But we are going very fast. We've just got into top gear, going 300 kilometers an hour. But we are downhill, I suppose. Let's see high-speed cornering. Yep, okay. We didn't have much traction on the rear. Sorry, we didn't have enough traction on the front to handle turning. So, as a road supercar, not particularly great. Let's go find a better track for it, though. Let's take it to the automation test track. That was the wrong thing to press. It's pronounced Arrowfart 20. Okay. I think I see it now. Arrow FRT. I'm going to call it the Arrow FRT just to ruin your joke now. Alright, let's try out the new car. The Ripshire. A wobbly wing is a special kind of active arrow. Yeah, it's a hyperactive arrow. Okay, so we get understeer and then inertia oversteer. Let's try that again. Let's turn ESC off. See if that helps us at all. Also, the exhaust is not coming out the right area. I don't know what's up with that. Understeer, then oversteer. Great. Oh, God. And then can't control oversteer anymore. Okay, we lost front wing. Let's try this again, shall we? This is not going bad at all. All right, turn left. And not too much left, then right. Then not too much right. Not too much right. Oh, wait. I forgot. This thing is just rear engine. So, that would explain why this thing is handling particularly bad. I forgot. Okay, so we have to be careful with power oversteer because it's not all-wheel drive, like what everybody else does with this car body. Which even I did that with this car body. Alright. Not horrifically bad. Little bits of understeer. Then power on. You know what? It feels alright. Does it feel spectacular like you would want from a supercar? Not particularly. The price is also like kind of mid to low range supercar. It's not a particularly supercar. When you have to give your aero Adderall. Alright, let's try this out. 285. Oh, understeer. Unfortunate. Okay, so let's start giving this car its score because there's not really a lot more for this to handle. To do. Handling a 5. It's in the middle of the road. It's nice, but you expect more for the price. Realism, it's a rear-wheel drive supercar, so it's a little bit more realistic than most because most just go, let's just give it all-wheel drive. There's like some sort of cheap, not wanting to bother too much about handling. Give me a second. Alright, cool. Just had another cough. Achoo! Dabbing wasn't cool when dabbing was cool. Imagine an entire wobbly body. I have seen that multiple times. That's just what happened when I put the Countach engine in a Yugo. What? I'm confuzzled. Anyway, the design... Unfortunately, you've used one of the harder bodies to work with. It's not the hardest. It's not the super hard LaFerrari body, but it is still a pretty hard body to work with because of this like weird line that goes across here. You haven't done a lot to really make the thing stand out either, unfortunately. So overall, like a 6 out of 10. This is a bit bland, honestly. For a supercar, you kind of want something that really sticks out quite a lot. And as far as supercar goes, this one is a smidgen too sedate, I would say. Let's have a look at the next car. Ah, yes. Do I have an old track for this to race on? I don't think I do. You could go back to Italy, but I don't want to load that up again. And we'll just leave it here. All right. Let's bring out the Solada PS something or other, blah, 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 blah. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. So, the Solada PS84. This is made by Yugo Dealer. And, oh, that would explain the whole Russian theme. 1971, and it's $20,300. A very weird communist supercar. Whoops. All drive is simple cop-out. That's the word I was thinking of. Thank you. It's like a cheat code everyone wants. Yeah, sure. A wobbly body would be a wobby. Sure, okay. Put a Jesco absolute endline in a Mia... I think you just had a stroke. Oh, okay. Put a Jesco absolute engine. Still don't know what you're trying to say. I still think you had a stroke. Let's talk funny engine swaps, guys. Sure, okay. So this is the communist car. And hold on, what was the price again? 20,300. So it's actually... I just bit that tongue. Ow. Actually a lot more expensive than what you would want from a car. Let's have a look. Is that a real? That is a real wing. But it is minuscule, so I'm going to give it a free pass. I think this car should handle quite nicely. It should have good aero. Oh, that is a really slow takeoff. Oh, this thing is really slow. Oh my god, I am flooring it, and we've only just reached 100. I need to take this thing to a drag strip. I get the feeling to make the cars faster. Really, what you should have done was make the vehicle lightweight, which means go for the short body. I'm not sure if this is the short body. And, oh god, okay, alright. We have lockups. So that is the problem with drum brakes. They will lock up really, really unfortunately. What's happening? Oh, it's ending a song. Okay. The Koenigsegg Jesco Absolute is top speed version of the Koenigsegg. Okay, then. I don't think I remember what the Jesco is. I don't think I've ever heard the Jesco before. That actually looks nice. So I've never really been a particular fan of Koenigsegg styling because they've always been a little bit boring, a little bit middle of the road, but this looks pretty nice. The back end looks a little bit too much like a McLaren, and McLaren don't actually look good, so I don't know why they're trying to copy them. That looks a little bit better from that angle, though, I should admit. Damn it. For the most part, I like this, except for the fact that they're trying to make it look like a McLaren, and McLaren don't make good-looking cars. The front still looks most like I can see the design input of Koenigsegg is starting to lose it a little bit, unfortunately, but I still do mostly like that. It looks pretty good. I'd rate that. I put a Maserati BF 109K engine in a variant of my first flying car. The original had a GM LT. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. You're saying a whole bunch of things that, like, I know Maserati, that's about the only thing I know from that list. The rest, eh. Well, I put a PLP50 engine in an F450. That I could see being a problem. Now, this thing has a diff locker, but I don't see the need for a diff locker. Also, I don't like the color of this car. I'm going to change it up. Also, the chassis should have been hidden in this vehicle, and they didn't do that. Let's go with baby blue. Oh, that looks much better. There we go. That looks much better. Clear coat, let's turn that up. No metallic, that costs too much. Okay. Nice, I like that. That was Mr. Schmidt, not Maserati? Oh, Mr. Schmidt, okay. Fair enough. I want to make a radial engine at some point. I will get around to it one day. Okay, oh god! Okay. That was not what I was expecting. I was just about to say that at least it handles nicely, but then I got into the corner, and it does not. Alright, let's try the next corner. Next one up is Cossacks. Let's see how Cossacks handles this car. Hopefully it's not so rubbish. Slow down a little bit. Oh, a little bit of oversteer there. Tried. Oh, more oversteer. Okay, it constantly is in a state of wanting to oversteer. Once you get this thing going, and if you're careful about that oversteer, it's actually not that bad. It's quite good, actually. But really slow. Really, really slow. I wonder if this is actually... Oh, God. A larder engine or something. Or similar to it. Because it did look like it had trumpets on it. Let's have a quick look at the engine. Yes, I see very extensive carburetor, so it's not exactly a larder engine. Moye Bleu Comica. This is not Moye Bleu. Moye Bleu is a little bit darker and a little bit more faded. When will the devs put rotary engines into automation? We need them. I don't think we need them, but they probably won't. I would much rather them put in diesels first. And flat 8s and flat 12s as well. That I would appreciate. Oh, no, the bad handling comes under braking. That's what the problem is. W engines? Sure. I would put that down on the list, though. I think... Oh, actually, hold on. I think the thing that they need the most out of anything is electric engines or hybrid engines. But at least electric engines. They are really the way of the future, and this game has been in development so long that they have seen the development of electric engines being... electric motors being, like, kind of a gimmick to now being, like, actually legitimately something that everyone could have in a short amount of time, like only a few years away sort of thing, before it becomes affordable for everyone. Now, this thing actually has a very good top speed. Nice. Huh? Okay. Braking is tricky, because the front brakes want to lock up so easily. I think it would have been better if this thing had drums on the front and back compared to having drums and discs, because then it would be at least consistent in how it locks up. Ha! Ha! Alright, had to handbrake you there for a second. Also, the wheels in this are... Yeah, that's not the wheels they would have had. They probably would have had, like, steel wheels, maybe hubcaps, but probably not. Diesels on the rotaries? No. Electrics are the most important, I would say, because it is the future. Put an F-16 engine in that car and it will definitely fly. Obviously, yes. A jet engine would do amazingly. Rob said that after turbo revamp, the next thing is superchargers, then diesels. Oh, really? That's actually really good. Superchargers, I do like. Not entirely necessary because they've always been quite rare, because they're just not really good for road cars. They waste way too much fuel, but still really fun. Diesels, also, yeah, I would love diesels. Why use diesels when you can use coal? Steam engines, yeah, that's what they need. They need steam engines. Also, I just noticed the mirrors on this are also particularly weird. But yeah, so that's this car. I like the design. I like the handling mostly. I like the realism because it would be a little bit jank. How much does it weigh? 841 kilos. I feel as if they probably should have made it lighter. What sort of chassis does it have? It has a space frame, which is also quite accurate. They would go for, like, low production volume. I like this car, but it is slow as hell. So, like, the fun factor is quite low. I'd give it somewhere maybe around a 6, because I also don't like those headlights. Those headlights look really, really weird. Welcome, Connor Mehring. That name is tricky. Phil, speaking of electric cars, what do you think of the alternatives? 100% ethanol, hydrogen fuel cells. Hydrogen fuel cells are never going to be commercially viable to the broader public. I think that they have their uses, but generally not. Even if they do get used, you're not going to see many people generating hydrogen with electrolysis. You're generally only ever going to see it with the way in which they create it with LPG, is it, or something like that? Something like that. So, I would say no to hydrogen. It's just too much greed to have hydrogen produced correctly, and the efficiency, cost, all that sort of stuff is just not going to make it particularly great. Also, the implementation of hydrogen filling stations all over the place is going to be pretty tricky, because Toyota is very, give-uppy, if that's a word you might use to explain how they've treated hydrogen in the past, and they are one of the, like, people that are really trying to push hydrogen at the moment. So unfortunately, even though I do like the idea of hydrogen, I don't think, just like it didn't catch on the last 2 times, it's not going to catch on this time either completely. The flying car has a JTOW. It needed something that didn't apply power to the ground to be able... What? Anyway, lol, my first car had a supercharged 6.2 liter V8. Impressive. What was that, like a Corvette or something? Jesus. How did you have a Corvette? I hope they add in E10 fuel. I believe they are doing something like that. In the next big update, they are adding something called dev meth. I wish they didn't. I would love to not have dev meth. That's just stupid. I mean, I don't even think meth blends get 200 octane. Ugh. All right, next car. Next car is this one. So, we're going to take this to Pikes Peak because that's where they said it does well. So we're going to go Pikes Peak Bitumen, and we're going to go with Devil's Playground again. What about 100% ethanol? I don't even know. Do cars run on 100% ethanol? I don't think they do. I think that's why it generally maxes out at E85, 85% ethanol. Otherwise, you get into like severe lack of power or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I remember a car called the Coda, and it's one of the prototypes that had a CVT gearbox in an electric car. Why would you have a CVT with a... That's just parasitic power loss. Not a good idea. Why are there no 2-cylinder engines? I also agree with the 2-cylinder thing. I think there should be something along that sort of line. That would be cool. But then again, also not entirely necessary. But it would also have to be probably 2-stroke. Otherwise, you're going to run into like massive lumpy sort of issue. Fuel engines could be way more efficient. Go search for Audi 100. TUV confirmed the consumption under 2 liters 100, or back in 1989, the oil lobby stopped the efficient engines. I do agree that oil lobbies have done a lot of shitty stuff, but let's have a look at this. It says it uses 10 liters to the 100. But in the 1989, I very much doubt that that actually existed. My first car was a bicycle. Make rear-wheel drive supercar. Okay, got it. What? Sure, okay. I go search the link. What? The Model T uses... I don't know what you guys are on about. The Model T uses 100% ethanol. Ethanol has about a 30% lower energy density than petrol. Yes, but you can add a lot more of it if you so choose, which will then give you more power net gain, which is the advantage of ethanol, because it doesn't knock that much. All right, let's get away from these people that are saying the weird things. 1-cylinder engines, Phil? Like a generator? Sure. It's in German? Okay, sure. They're probably full of shit, to be honest. Like, a lot of companies have claimed this sort of thing, but I very much doubt that that exists. Ha! Like, the Volkswagen XL1, which is the name of a Canon camera, by the way, and I disagree with their nomenclature. I wish they hadn't done that. Because I love the XL1, even if it is a shitty old camera. Oh no! Oh no! Ah! Okay, brakes are not good. Handling is actually quite nice. But once again, we got this boring brown color. I don't know why people have been choosing this color. Maybe that's actually an exporting glitch. Let's have a look. How many cars came in this boring sort of brown color? Only 3. But then again, maybe it just went to grayscale some of the cars. Because this doesn't look good. Not a big fan. Let's make it minty ice cream green. There. Configurations. A little bit. There we go. Mint ice cream. Now let's have a look at the vehicle thing. The Pikes Peak. I wish they had called it the Pikes Peak, because that would have been cool. By Alexandria Barngwin. The person who left us. 2007, it's $37,900. This is... I decided to slam together a quick and cheap soft rotor to give it a try. And yeah, so this is a Pikes Peak type car. I think maybe this thing was actually meant for dirt, but we'll give it one more try. It's quite nippy off the line, actually. Though it's not particularly fast in its 0 to 100. We still haven't reached 100, though we are going uphill. So I'm assuming that this thing is trying to cut money with a budget-orientated engine cost. By the way, back to funny engine swaps. Okay, I'll read that in a minute. I just want to try getting this thing around the first hairpin. Hopefully it works. Alright, coming up to braking point. Oh, actually, you know what? Brakes aren't so bad. It's just for some reason, if you let it lock up or turning during braking, maybe then it becomes horrendously bad. Also, I just noticed my hair looks really bad right now. You know what? Actually, this handles quite nicely. It's a bit slow, but still, I like it quite a lot. It's also really ugly. Like, this thing gets two for design. It has headlights and they're in the right place. It has taillights, they're in the right place. Well done. Like, the rest of it looks really, really ugly. Like, those headlights look really bad. I put a Chiron W16 in a Suzuki Cappuccino. Ew, okay. Wouldn't even fit? Yeah, I very much doubt it as well. Would fit if you cut the entire front off. Is it a front engine? I thought it was mid-engine. My memory's not so good. Would fit if you... Okay, wait. We have done the Formula 1. No, we're about to do that directly after this car. Well, you, my friend, are insane. Okay, let's go ahead and try the dirt track out for this car. Because even though I like this car, it's very ugly and I don't like looking at it. Gravel Pikes Peak. Let's go from starting line default. I'll be back in a minute. I was just checking if you were still there. Okay. I remember Drive Tribe put a Connaught 2-liter supercharged... Wait. I don't think they actually finished that, and I don't know if it was supercharged. I don't think it was supercharged. It's just a Connaught VR10 in the Miata, yes. Yes, I think. Sounds like death. God has abandoned us. it is the end of times. In also put a 3002J in a front-wheel drive Volt. Okay, weird. The VR6 is fine. Not a swap, but the other day I drove something with 2,500 horsepower. What, a big boat? That's a lot of horsepower. Okay, Pikes Peak, and then we're going to change its color because it's hideous. Color. Let's just go presets. Red? No. Blue? No. Black? Eh. Ah, there we go. Got the mint green still. Is that the mint green? I don't think that's the mint green. Anyway, let's go. Okay. BeamNG didn't know how to deal with gear changes just then. We're going to try a little bit more handling. So the handling is actually fairly nice. Is a supercar nice? No, but this is not a supercar priced vehicle or anything like that. Actually, what is the price of this car? Let's quickly check that out. 37. Okay, so you'd probably expect more power from a car of this price, if I'm going to be entirely honest. But it is a soft roader as well, so it's quite big, which is more family orientated. But if you've got a car that has looks only a mother could like, yeah, you're going to want a little bit more from it. Ugh. Nobody saw that, right? Everybody was looking away at that time, typing on the keyboards. That's what happened, right? Nobody saw it? Good, okay. Make an SRT... make it SRT orange. This thing? I don't actually know what SRT orange is because SRT doesn't exist here in Australia. Like, I can imagine vaguely, but I don't know what it is. People forget. American cars are pretty much only ever in America. The only one that's ever really gone out, kind of sometimes over the years, is mostly just the Mustang. A little bit of Chryslers like the PT Cruisers and all that sort of stuff, but they're not great cars, honestly. I like the look of the 300C, but the PT Cruiser was just abysmal looking. Oh, okay, well, I didn't quite do that one right. And you know what? I like this one. Is it as good as the 2000 RS 2000? No. But it is actually quite nice. It's not bad. It's just okay. Apparently, though, this one is quite fast up the hill if you were to do it at full speed. So, I'm not going to try that because that's going to take way too much time. I was going to go ahead and say that I like this car, but it's got so many foibles. You know what? No, it just has one major foible. Two foibles. One major. It's ugly as sin, and the price is a little bit too high for what you're getting. Maybe this thing has a lot of luxury. Let's see how much it weighs right after I do this corner. See, it doesn't have enough power to really pull itself through. Oh god, okay. Switch back. The brakes are good. Oh, good. Song starting. Control N. The weight of this car is 1,100 kilos. So it's actually a really light car. So, and it's actually really small as well. So it's not meant to be a particularly luxury family sort of car. So that price tag, not really justifiable. But the one which somebody has been asking for a bazillion times, we're about to try it out now. Which track are we going to go to? Perfect song as well, because I've been looking forward to this car. Let's try Hiroshi Raceway, because it feels most like the sort of thing that a Formula 1 car would be on. So it's not a boat, but a railway locomotive. Ah, okay, I see, yep. This car looks like an old BMW Z4 with an SUV form. What, like the, X3 or something like that? I don't know, it's just a really ugly car. SRT orange is that kind of red orange you sometimes see challenges in. Correction! Let me just edit what you've said there. SRT orange is that kind of red orange that you blah 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 challenges in. Because that part that I blah blah blah'd out is not applicable to anywhere except America. Alright, let's okay. The Aerofart 20. About to see how this thing handles. Oops. Control T. So we have a huge rear wing plane. Only one though, even though this is a multi-element wing. We have another huge aero element down here. And then a single, by the looks of it, massive aero element in the front. Which doesn't seem... So, I am a little bit concerned that this thing might have a tendency... And it's actually really hard to tell how this thing is going to handle. Because it's got really big front tires, but not a lot of front aero. So maybe this thing is actually balanced. I'm really unclear. You mean go mango? What? I'm confuzzled. Me no understando. Yes, we are going to see how the sharp, sticky butt gas 20 drive. What? Sorry, the sharp stick stinky butt gas drive 20 drives. Okay, sure. Let's Oh my god. Oh, the engine has been modified, so it goes up to nearly 15,000 RPM. And it has probably a DCT transmission, which I thought this was meant to be like a 70s or 80s, but clearly not. We're also meant to turn on JATO. Ha! Okay. Oops, that was the wrong button. Hold on. Let's look at this car. So. Here we go. All right. The Arrow Fart 20 by Shadow353. Thank you for the vehicle. I have no idea what year it is or what price it is, but I fixed move nodes, gave it F1 handling, PS, press E every time you want to drive the car. Okay. You can see that this thing is meant to be a fan car by like the big fan on the back, which led me to think that it was meant to be like a 70s sort of car. So yeah, let's give it a try. Ah! The front wheels don't feel connected enough. And also, oh god, there's not much, well that sucked. This car is tricky. I love it. This should be submitted to more people. There's not much camber compensation. Ha! Oh my god. This thing is hard to drive. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Alrighty. No, it still looks good. I think we're fine. Ah, okay. That was still fine. Now I think I know why the nodes are so high up. I think this thing needs a little bit better suspension tuning, but oh my god. Please give this to Jimmy Broadbent. Please, God, give this to Jimmy Broadbent. I want to see Jimmy Broadbent give this car a try. Whoops! Whoops! Oh my god! This thing is bonkers! Okay, alright. This thing is really fast as well. Also... Oh, you know what? There's an extra thing that they could have done. And they haven't done it. They could have... Oh, maybe. I think they could have. Hold on. Control T, Control N. So I'm not sure where this thruster is coming from. Oops. Damn it. That was the wrong button. Yeah, there's no sort of clue as to where the thruster's coming from here. But they could have somehow connected the thrusters to the wheels, so then the wheels themselves would be the one to push down, not so much the body. But then again, it would probably fall over. But I think they could work it out. They wouldn't also get the notorious body dump that happens when you turn it on. So, apparently when they first tested out the fan car, they revved the engine and it... oh, God! The engine bogged down, and immediately everyone knew exactly what was happening and were up in arms and hated it. So you would lose that like body dump that happens when you turn the fan or simulated fan on. But still. Ah! Unfortunate. This car is bonkers. Oh my god. Ah, it's a little too jiggly though. If you could somehow bring the jiggling under control as well, it'd also be amazing. But as is, I would love to see Jimmy Broadbent drive this car. Oh, it's still in one piece. Not much damage, actually. You know what? Good. Okay, let's keep going. Ah! Okay. Ha! Shit! Whoa! It hit so hard, it dug into the ground, and then the ground didn't know what to do and pulled us in. So around here somewhere, there's a 3D model that starts, and I think it's... Where does a 3D model start? Right here is where the 3D model starts. Anyway, so yeah, it got caught on that, and then it did this mess. Engine is broken. All right. Jesus. Great God, I know, right? Okay, no more laughing at this car. This thing scares me. It is quite scary to drive, yes. Because I feel as if it should have maybe better brakes. It's either a turbine or a blender on the back. It's a fan car. I'm assuming that's what they're trying to simulate here. Do a drag race with it. It's so low and fast it will cut your ankles off. Okay. It will cut your feet off. What? That's kind of what they just said. Straight up decapitates you. What? Your feet aren't... That's decapitation... I don't think you can decapitate... I think you only decapitate... I'm confused. Alright. The G-forces from this thing would make a jet pilot crap his pants. Yes, but it is only for short periods of time. My keyboard stopped working again. You did get me thinking, though. I'm not going to be able to watch this, because I'm going to be so busy trying to drive. 4 Gs in acceleration. 5 Gs in braking. Oh, you know what? Not as high as I thought. I was only getting 4 Gs in the corner. Weird. It's actually not getting much more downforce than a normal Formula 1 car. Ah! The only difference between this and a Formula 1 car is the fact that it's like bonkersly fast in a straight line. Ah! Savannah! Okay, there we go. We made it. This thing is bonkers! What? This car is so weird. This thing can drive your... Wait, this thing can give your feet a haircut. Yeah. All right, let's go give this thing a bit of a try, as you said, on the drag track. West Coast, USA. No, hold on. I want to go time trials. Then on West Coast. Here we go. Drag strip. The Arrow FRT20. And a pedicure at the same time. Yeah, you know, file down those nails just a little smidge. Jesus Christ, this car is fast. What is happening with this song? It's giving me anxiety. It's so weird. Let's stop that song. Okay. The driver died the moment he went halfway around a corner. It's not actually that many G-forces. Sustained G-forces of 6 Gs will eventually knock you out after like a good 10-20 minutes. Short bursts of 8 Gs is actually pretty common for fighter pilots to fight, but it's generally only a short amount of time. 11 Gs is where you start, I believe, getting into fairly quick death territory. You want to get waxed by sure windfalls? Yeet it off the car jump arena. Pause just before it leaves the ramp and cut the jets. Oh, interesting. The driver died when he got in the car. Sure, that sounds about right. Okay, we have thrusters enabled. That's a 5.4 second. Not the fastest, but still pretty darn fast. I actually have at least one car that's gone faster than that. And that... I'm not actually sure what body that was. Wouldn't this car make the driver crap themselves, but when braking would make them uncrap themselves due to the G-force? They're not laying down head forwards. That's not how they, like, they go so fast the poop comes out and then they brake at the poop. That's not how you sit in a Formula 1 car. It'd actually be the other way around. If they go to brake, then they would crap themselves because they're sitting in such a slanted position, and then they go to accelerate and go, why am I talking about this? What is this weird song? Once again, we got some more weird songs. Let's skip this one as well. Humans can survive very high Gs for short times. Max Verstappen, F1 driver, recently had 52 Gs shunt, which he walked away from. Wow, that's impressive. But yes, that is a very short time. 11 Gs, as I said, isn't like instant kill. It's kind of like where you start getting into like, it'll kill you relatively quickly. I'm just not sure how long that quickly is. Yeah. Cool car. I really... What the hell? Okay. Oh, God. What? What is happening? What the... I'm in walkie mode. What is happening? So confuzzled. What? I don't know what's happening. I can't get back to the car now. Your knees bend the other way you start off. What? Welcome, Onion Man 500 Blin. You've actually just made it for the ending of the stream. If you do it hard enough, will it go? Never mind. Okay. The car is so fast, it broke the game. Yeah, I don't know why it just kept rewinding like that and didn't want to stop rewinding. Very peculiar. I should be in offline class, but the teacher isn't entering, so I'm going to watch this sometime. Okay, well, you've just made it for the end, which means you guys get to experience the ending, which is so loved by everybody. But for now, we're just going to do a quick goodbye to everybody. So, goodbye, Onion Man 500, even if you've only come here at the last minute. I'm sorry about that. Space Warrior, thank you for coming. Crownless, thank you for coming. Already says, Connor, no, thank you for coming. Funny Foxbear, thank you for coming. And also thank you for coming to the event the other day. Thank you, Broken Ursa, and thank you, Flame Z, for coming. The beautiful ending, yes. Thank you, Vens, for coming, and Canola Skies, thank you for stopping by. Have I said Broken Ursa? Whatever, we'll just go again. Broken Ursa. If you're getting double, then refund me at the end. I'll leave you my PayPal details. TR673, thank you for coming by. Thank you, Turbo Crash 93, for coming by, even if it was only for a short amount of time. And now we're just getting into a lot of repeats. So I think that will do. The special ending is on its way. Very special. Time for the copyrighted ending? Yes, time for the thing that I have to dispute every single time because they just do automatic copyright strikes and not actually bother anything. So, I hope you all have enjoyed today's stream. But for now, I'm going to go. Maybe drink a little bit more water. And then go to bed. Bye. Let me retry this. Hold on. Give me a sec. I should actually probably mention one last thing about